up, down, left, right, open, close.
Previously on BrianTheBlue Game Reviews. What do you mean you haven't watched it yet? You're gonna be hella confused if you haven't. Go back and watch the Gyromite episode then. Jeez Louise. Stack Up for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Will you be the one?
So in case you haven't caught up with the Gyromite episode, when Nintendo were making their entertainment system in 1985, they were trying to make it not like a video game system, but more like a toy. They did that in a few ways. By redesigning the console to make it more like a cassette player, the game cartridges were redesigned to make them look like tapes, and you had 3 ways to play: with the controller, the zapper, or with R.O.B. The Robotic Operating Buddy was Nintendo's ace in the hole in terms of marketing their new video game system as a toy, and they did hard, as you couldn't miss him on posters nor on the box. 2 games were made for him when the system released: Gyromite, which we already looked at, and the more forgotten Stack Up. This game was released on October 18th, 1985 as one of the 17 launch titles for the NES. Of course, if you remember seeing me play Gyromite, you'll know that R.O.B didn't add anything to the game other than making it slow. If you haven't, you should go see it. You're missing out on a lot, and you're hurting R.O.B's feelings.
Please don't play that. You're only gonna make him stronger.
This guy has some sort of problem with my Robotic Operating Buddy. Not sure why though. I don't really care either, as I'm more interested in seeing if this will be any better than the previous experience, or worse. No telling until we find out, so let's take a better look at Stack Up. I got a very serious question to ask. How many blocks can a R.O.B stack up if a R.O.B could stack up blocks? We're about to find the answer. You control Hector and have to send out commands to R.O.B to put his blocks in the right place. What blocks, you ask? These, of course. We have more parts to play with, and again, these are the Famicom versions as they're the best I can afford. We have 5 trays and 5 different colored blocks. The color may or may not matter, we shall see. We also have different shaped claws for easy grabbing of the blocks. You know what we also have with Stack Up? A case of mistaken identity. Yes, we are playing the Famicom version of Stack Up, or Robot Block. You can thank the Famicom adapter for that. If you want to know if your cartridge has the adapter inside, the best way to know is to weigh them because they'll be slightly heavier than your average Nintendo cartridge. And if you're colorblind and can't tell my brothers apart, the best way to tell us apart is by weighing or by bulk. The main game seems to be bingo, so we're going to talk about that first. The game gives you a block order to start off with and what it wants you to make. It'll be up to you to make it to par and get the points. As I said, you control a hopping Hector and you gotta make R.O.B complete the block formation the game wants by hopping on this bingo sheet, if you will, to get 5 in a row if you want him to do a certain command. So you'll be working directly with R.O.B. He has no controller this time. You're gonna have to interact with him by way of the commands and endure his slow motion game style. There are other things that can get in your way, like the spike that floats about the sheet and the flipper that hops on the sheet like you. This could spell disaster, as he can also input commands and could possibly misdirect R.O.B. stack up. My eye oughta... Huh? What? All I did was press start and that somehow makes me win? Then what was the point of me going through all that stress if all I had to do was press start? Why, Rob? Why? Why did you make me do that? Why do you make anybody do that? Why do you do it, huh? Why do you do it? Why are you so miserable? Why do you do anything? I mean, why the heck are you just a Smash Bros. Character now? This is why you're just a Smash Bros. Character, because you're so fucking useless. What is the point of going through all that effort when you can literally press pause, which is A or B, that's super weird, and press start, and blatantly cheat and move on? I do get what Nintendo was doing since there is no real way to tell the game that you completed a puzzle. It trusts you to do the honorable thing. But we're gamers, honor can go out the window when going for points. Jokes aside, my point is, this isn't really a game if you can't self-police it by the rules, as you can say, "Oh Rob, you screwed up? Don't care, I'm racking up the points." It isn't good game design. I mean, why would you play this game if you didn't even have a Rob? What is this game for? Who is this game for? Just a robot? That's a limited audience, Nintendo. Or are they thinking ahead? If you do get the blocks in the right place honorably or not, you can move on to the next phase. There are no lives in this game, so this can be a test of how bored you get before you move on to something else. And that's how you play. I don't think I've ever struggled to talk about a game that is confusingly built or quite a bore as this. I honestly don't see anything redeeming about it. Unless you have a Rob, the game is pretty much useless. And even if you have a Rob, the action is more or less the same, but you have something to stress over. Sorry, Rob. You got a dud on your hands. You don't have to put your head down, you deserve better. But you should look away, you don't need to see anymore. The music was composed by Hirokazu Tanaka, and while I like his tunage, there isn't much here. Usually black box games have limited music anyway, so I expect it, but man, I think this was wasted potential. There's only 2 full tracks with 6 sound bites, one of which being reused from Gyromite. I wouldn't call them memorable anyway, so yeah, not good on the ears. Not blaming Tanaka though, he would only get better as he went. How much better? How about this? Or this? And this? I rest my case. Despite not having much to offer in what I presume to be the main game, maybe it'll have something to offer in its other modes. Of course, there is a 2-player mode where both Hector and Vector are competing for how many blocks they can get on their side in 5 minutes. Both will be hopping on the board to try to get Rob to do their commands, which could be tough to do, but you can slow your opponent down by knocking them off. Then we have this game called Memory, where you have to guess how to move the block formation the game wants you to do by feeding commands to Rob and watching them go. This is by far the most interesting one, as you have to guess offhand how it could go, and it can get tricky pretty fast. You'll have to consult the manual or the internet for controls because it'll differ with every game type, but if you can't figure it out, you can cheat here too. We have Direct, which isn't the same as Gyromite. It's basically bingo without the hazards. You can cheat here a lot faster as well. Lastly, we have Test, where you can get your Rob oriented to work properly.
Stop! What are you doing? That's the source of its power!
Huh? Okay. Now can you tell me what your problem is with my Rob? I didn't know you had this effect on people. I wasn't able to find the sales figures for this game, but best guess it didn't sell well since it is considered a rare game today and forgotten in time. The R.O.B series would die with only 2 games, and when the NES properly kicked off with popular titles like Super Mario and Duck Hunt, R.O.B was considered an afterthought and no other games were made with him in mind. Today, he's remembered more fondly as a novelty collector's item and as a mascot of Nintendo's past, being referenced and seen in multiple Nintendo titles, plus being a staple character in Super Smash Bros. Since Brawl. You did a lot of good later in life, R.O.B, but if people played your games, they'd think to the contrary. This one especially made me sick to my stomach. Speaking of which, I have to use the bathroom.
This ends now, R.O.B. You think I can go back to that? To solving your puzzles and mazes? To hopping around like an idiot or sleepwalking like a goof? I'm tired of it, and I want my life back. Regret ever making you. Farewell, buddy.
Jesus Christ, man, what the hell are you doing?
Get away from him! I have to end this!
Over my dead body, you will.
If you insist.
Uncle Heck? Uncle Heck? Oh, you found the R.O.B.
Yeah, but this blue man won't give it back to me.
Well, do you think pointing a gun at him will do you any good?
Guess you're right.
Wait, you're looking for the R.O.B? I thought you were running away from it.
Sorry, my uncle can be a little hysterical. He doesn't like robots in general. I'm Vanessa. We live right across the way.
I see. What are you doing with this R.O.B?
Oh, we're into robotics. We're trying to find a use for it. We're trying to give him AI to make him serve drinks or something. But it isn't working out. All he does is play software. But we'd like to have him back.
Oh. Alright.
Thanks. Sorry for intruding. Let's go, Uncle Heck. You look worn out. Maybe Daddy Beck will have a look at you.
My neighborhood is weird, man. So, what is my rate to play? I'm not sure what I can say about this game that I haven't said already, but if I can find any more words, it won't be of a positive light. Stack Up, to its credit, is an interesting distraction for those who own a Robotic Operating Buddy, but if you don't, it really doesn't serve a purpose. Most of the game concepts are fine, but having the option to skip kinda loses the game part for me, because I know myself. I would try to go forward if I was angry, but this game is so boring it wouldn't be a reward, it'd be a curse. Of the 2 R.O.B games, Gyromite is the only one worth playing. If you had to get Stack Up, make sure you have a R.O.B to make it worthwhile. But for me, the novelty has worn off on this stinker, especially now that my R.O.B is gone. To conclude, I give this game a play rate of... don't play. But that's only my opinion. If you have your own thoughts, leave a comment. If you like what you see, leave a like. If you think others could enjoy this, share it around the web. And if you want to see more, subscribe. Anyway, this has been BrianTheBlue Game Reviews. Stack up for the NES. Ryan here saying thanks for watching my game review. You can find me elsewhere like on Co-op.com where me and my friends play through various games for you to see. We do Let's Plays and weekly shows, having fun and getting frustrated in the process. Subscribe today to see what we play next in the coming weeks. Plus, I'm a part of the Millennial X channel. Me and my arcade buddies also love our fair share of gaming, plus goofing around with video topics or each other when we can. We play games, hunt games, and soon review games, movies, and console generations. Change the channel and check us out when you're able. But don't forget, I have plenty of other content on this channel with original series like quick views, console reviews, AC reviews, and current calamities. From software to hardware, I provide any and all gaming reviews. Check out Jacobians further to see what I have to offer. That's all the promotion from me. Click the I to go watch either the previous or upcoming episodes of Game Reviews. How lucky can I get? I found another R.O.B with original box and paperwork by the trash. This is gonna look great in my collection. But I'll have to admire it later. I gotta go live a little.